What's up, guys? Chase Oliver 68 here, bringing you my WWE Monday Night Raw, July 15th, 2013 review. Let's get started with the show. So the show kicks off. Brad Maddox comes to the ring. Yes, our Raw GM, Brad Maddox. Yay! He announces Ziggler and Del Rio, praises Vicky some more, and then out comes Cena. Cena just wants to know what's next for him. I mean, he's the WWE champion. He really wants to know. He's very eager. So Brad Maddox tells Cena, you can choose your opponent tonight. It will be the first time ever in history of the WWE that a WWE champion can choose his opponent. But then I think to myself, didn't CM Punk have that option like a year ago to choose his opponent? I don't know. I just find it kind of weird that all of a sudden they're just like saying it's like the first time ever. But then out comes Randy Orton, and Randy Orton cut such a good promo this time. Like, this was probably one of Orton's best promos in a long fucking time. Like, you guys know Randy Orton's promos as of late, pretty much were just like, Randy Orton, Legend Killer, like that boring shit. But this time he sounded more enthusiastic. He sounded very good, and he pretty much just told Cena, anytime, anywhere, I'm going to cash in this money in the bank. And so pretty much Randy Orton is laying down the law. It doesn't fucking matter when it's free. I'm going to cash in, and I'm going to become WWE champion again. And then for some reason, Fandango out of all fucks come out, and this leads to Fandango, like, talking bad about Cena and Randy. And then afterwards, Cena cuts some jokes on Fandango. And this leads to a Randy Orton and Fandango brawl, which leads to a Randy Orton and Fandango match. Actually, solid match between Randy Orton and Fandango. Nothing really that blew me away. But really solid matchup that they had going here. So I would have to say it was okay match. Randy Orton wins like he should because he's my boy, Mr. Money in the Bank, getting very good stuff going for him. And now we move on forward to Mark Henry coming out. Mark Henry pretty much is like, saying he's done a lot in the business. Yeah, I tapped out. You would too if he had the STF on you. And he's just kind of like giving a little bit of closing thoughts. He's just kind of giving a little bit of closing thoughts of what happened to him in his career. And you kind of feel like, okay, this might be the end of Mark Henry. But all of a sudden, the fucking Shield come out. And the Shield come out, attack Mark Henry, take him out. And I just think to myself, well, okay, what was the point of turning Mark Henry heel if he's just going to turn babyface again? I don't see the point of this. I thought it was a useless segment, in my personal opinion. Yeah, good for the Shield. They look good by attacking such a big force in Henry. But I just don't see the point in Henry's character. I mean, because maybe this is Henry's last goodbye. Maybe he wants to face the Shield last. I don't know what's going through Mark Henry's mind. I'm not Mark Henry personally. But in all honesty, it was like, if I would have rather had Mark Henry retire with that Cena match. Because that Cena match was a great match for Mark Henry to end his career on. You could tip your hat to him saying, hey, you know what? Great fucking match. But with this Shield shit, it just makes no sense because he just turned heel and now all of a sudden he's like a fucking face again? Like, what the hell, man? It's just, very confusing shit. But the match that we were promised by Brad Maddox, Ziggler versus Del Rio, we were getting it. It was a non-title match. Pretty much before the match, Dolph Ziggler catches up with AJ Lee in the back and pretty much just tells AJ, look, don't come out. We're done. We're finished. Pretty much just breaks up with AJ. And you know what happens with this psycho bitch. You break up with her, Dolph, you're going to get fucked over. And I already knew it. He was going to get fucked over. Ziggler and Del Rio, gotta say, much better than the pay-per-view match, in my personal opinion. Much more of a pay-per-view quality match between these two. But that's also a bad thing, folks. If these guys are putting on such a good match on Raw, can they top that when they get to SummerSlam? Because you know these guys are going to get to SummerSlam. But most likely the SummerSlam match, if they do wrestle, will probably be like a no-holds-barred, gimmicky type match. So, in all honesty, it won't affect it that much if they are feuding at SummerSlam. Because the end of the match, it mind-fucked me. I actually have to give AJ Lee some props. Oh, that just feels weird to say. But she rings the ring bell. And so Dolph Ziggler thinks like the match is over. Del Rio, though, does not think the match is over. So when AJ rang the ring bell, Ziggler thought the match was over. But it actually turned out that it wasn't over. The match was still going on. There was no official pinfall. Del Rio goes, gets the roll up, 1, 2, 3. Del Rio wins the match. And I'm thinking to myself, that was actually very interesting and very unique and something that I wasn't expecting whatsoever. And then afterwards, AJ Lee starts to attack Dolph Ziggler, and Dolph Ziggler, the only way he could fend off a crazy bitch is touching her boobs. Like, seriously, he was like, no, get away, get. Okay, I'm feeling those now. Okay, get away. And then all of a sudden, Big E Langston came over. Boom! Don't mess with my group. I'm Big E Langston. And so pretty much Big E Langston took out Ziggler. Overall, I don't know what this is leading to when it comes down to Dolph Ziggler and Alberto Del Rio. I'm fearing that it might lead to Dolph Ziggler versus Big E Langston, but we pray that it isn't. So anyways, R-Truth comes out and he's rocking a fucking afro. Like, this dude is rocking an afro. He looks so much older with an afro. And so Truth, he's seen him what's up, and then all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt's team hits. The Wyatt family's there. Wyatt family pretty much just beat up R-Truth for a little bit. And Bray Wyatt, the way that he acts and the way that he talks and the way the Wyatt family are kind of built. I don't know how many of y'all are TNA fans, but do you guys remember the Latino-American exchange with Conan, Homicide, and Hernandez? Minus that all the Wyatt family are pretty big guys. They feel like the Latino-American exchange, especially how Wyatt was talking. It felt very Latin American exchange. It felt very LAX-esque with this promo. And if this team's like LAX, I have no fucking problem with it. Because LAX is one of my favorite tag teams of all time. It is. And the Wyatt family, they're coming off of a very LAX-esque type feel to them. And I hope they keep this LAX-esque type feel. This gang mentality that they have. Just like how LAX had, where they always worked in a group. If they act like that and Wyatt cuts promos similar to Conan, because I almost felt like this guy, Bray Wyatt, was just like Conan on the mic, man. How he leads his army, like how Conan led Homicide and Hernandez. That's what Wyatt's doing with his two boys in the back. He's leading them to the truth, and pretty much R-Truth comes back with the steel chair. Bray Wyatt kicks his ass. It doesn't even matter. Very good segment here. Nothing really to complain about. Let's just move on forward to the real Americans. We the people! And Zeb Coulter, Dutch Montel, whatever you want to call him. Good shit on the mic tonight. And the WWE app. Oh, this was also stupid. Okay, so like the Wyatt family pretty much beat the shit out of R-Truth. And they're trying to make it like a really disturbing scene. Oh yeah, and then Wyatt also says Kane follow the buzzards, which we don't really know what that means. So the Wyatt family trying to make this like disturbing fucking promo. And we get this disturbing promo. And then all of a sudden, they plug the WWE app. It ruins the fucking moment, WWE. But the real Americans, we the people, take on the Usos. Ah! 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 I don't know how to fucking chant Samoa. That's the Schleg Daddy. He knows he loves Samoa. He doesn't know what he's saying, but he loves Samoa. He loves Samoa. Speaking of Samoans, the Usos win this quick little tag team match. That's all I really got to say about it. Tag team division right now, though, is looking deep. But the thing is, they got to keep up with this every single week on Raw. You can't just have it one week where, hey, we're going to focus on the tag team division. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, yeah, fuck the tag team division. You got to keep this up every single week for it to really have a huge effect onto the company and to the tag team division. All right, we move on forward to Damian Sandow versus Christian. And did anyone notice how fucked up Christian looked walking to the ring? Christian was just like limping, holding his gut half the time. He looked like he was in pain. He looked like he was in motherfucking pain. And so Sandow and Christian, they have a pretty solid match. And surprisingly, Christian wins. But I don't know why they made Christian win this match. Maybe because they're trying to keep Christian strong enough to face someone else in the near future. And also they know Damian Sandow can afford some losses right at this moment. Because people don't understand. The Money in the Bank guys, most of the time they're booked like shit anyways. And they're booked to lose. And Sandow, he's probably not going to cash in this bad boy until like next year. Okay? He's going to have that briefcase longer than Randy Orton. That's for sure. Because he's not really as established as Randy Orton when it comes to the main event scene. So they're going to have to build him up. And it takes time. And he's afforded to lose some matches. But Sandow did it brilliantly. Even though he lost, he's like, and still, your intellectual savior of the Money in the Bank, Damian Sandow. And all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes comes out, beats the shit out of Sandow. And obviously, it's a Cody Rhodes face. So Cody Rhodes is now a face. And it's about damn time to do something different with Cody Rhodes' gimmick. You know, he pretty much was stuck in limbo as a heel. Hopefully, he can get good stuff going as a face. And a feud with Sandow might just do that for him. All right, I'm just going to go through all the matches real quick. Brie Bella and Naomi pretty much were filming Total Divas episode 4, so I didn't really care about it. But Naomi had a sick crossbody. I will give Naomi credit there. And I believe, because I want to talk about the promos. Oh, Rob Van Dam and Chris Jericho. Maddox made this match. because he called Chris Jericho in his office and said, hey, you're going to face RVD. And Jericho was like, okay. I didn't know I was back in 2002, but whatever. Jericho and RVD, this was a good match. This was probably RVD's best match in a fucking long time. This was a good match between the two. A lot of commercial breaks in this match. These two men really did a good job in the main event scene. And Rob Van Dam ends up getting the win. Honestly, I don't know what they're going to do with Rob Van Dam. I honestly can't tell you what I think they're going to do. I don't think they're going to send him at Axel. It would be interesting if they did, but I don't really see him going after Axel and all that other stuff. So it's going to be interesting what they do with Rob Van Dam down the line. But I honestly can't tell you full out what I think they're going to do with RVD. But now let's just get into the main promos because that's like the big story. So pretty much CM Punk comes out. He's wearing his Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Respect CM Punk for supporting Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, as Anderson Silva would say. And pretty much CM Punk just wants Paul Heyman to get out to the ring. Paul Heyman comes on, cuts a very good promo saying that, like, I created you, CM Punk, in 2005. You were just a figment, but I made you into a reality. Punk, you have no one. You don't have a mom and father to console you. You don't have a brother or sister to console you. You're not married. You don't have kids. All you have is these people. And you got the crowd involved. You got the crowd involved. The fans are like, CM Punk, CM Punk. And I didn't want these people to be happy. You let me down, Punk. You let me down. When you lost to The Undertaker, and then you went to find yourself, and you were no longer my best friend. It was a very good promo by Paul Heyman. And CM Punk comes on, and pretty much CM Punk just says, you know what? I'm going to kick your ass. I'm going to make sure that I get my revenge, because you know when I want something, I'm a ruthless mother effer. He pretty much just says, I'm going to kick your ass either way. And pretty much Heyman was saying that the reason why also is because Punk, you're not his top client. Brock Lesnar's my top client. Heyman saying, Brock Lesnar's my top client. You're not the top client. My boy Lesnar is. And so pretty much Lesnar and Punk go at it. Lesnar's music hits. Heyman says clobbering time. Shit, man. This brawl was fucking epic. I love this brawl. This brawl was fun to watch. Brock Lesnar looked like he lost a lot of weight to me because he looked a lot smaller than he did when he faced Triple H. That's just me. I don't know. Because black's a slimming color, so I don't know if it was just because he was wearing black. He looked very good, but he looked very much more better than he did when he faced Triple H. It ends with Brock Lesnar throwing CM Punk with the F5 onto the table, and Brock looked kind of confused, but hey, you know what? He looked like a badass near the end of it all. Very good stuff, very good shit to hype up SummerSlam, which I'm expecting that this match takes place in. So now before the main event, well, not actually before the main event, you know, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, they have to talk about the WWE Performance Center, and they have to talk about all this other bullshit, and pretty much they are hoping Cena chooses the right guy, but they think Vince is going to be upset about it and all this other stuff, and Maddox is just acting weird as always. And now we get to Cena's choosing of who he wants to face for the WWE Championship. And I'm just thinking of this, okay? All the heels are in the front pretty much. Why in the fuck are they not kicking up John Cena, like beating the shit out of him? And then one thing also is, why in the blue hell is Alberto Del Rio out there? He's the World Heavyweight Champ. If I was Del Rio, I would have grabbed the microphone and be like, Cena, I don't need your belt. I have my own. Later. I would have just left. Like, what the fuck, Del Rio? Why is Del Rio out there? Way to belittle your World Heavyweight Championship, WWE. But Cena is pretty much out there, and he just names names. He's like, oh, how about the Great Khali? And the fans will just give a reaction. Pretty much that's all Cena really did this segment. But we all knew who he was going to choose. Like, the only people that really got huge pops for Cena when they named him were Y2J and RVD. But really, to be honest, we know who we wanted to see in this match. It was obvious. It could have gone to the point longer. I just felt it was like a terrible, you know, when you watch some people on YouTube and they give like those long-ass fucking shout-outs, and they're like, shout out to my mom, shout out to this, shout out to that, or a UFC fighter after a fight, they're giving like the shout outs to like their team, and they just keep on going and going, and you're just banging yourself in the head saying, go, finish off your shout outs. That's what Cena was doing, but at the end of the day, John Cena chooses, yes, 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 Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan. Yep, Daniel Bryan gets chosen for the #1 contendership. Huh, weird. Because didn't I say that Daniel Bryan would face John Cena at SummerSlam? Didn't I say Daniel Bryan did not need to waste a Money in the Bank title shot to face John Cena? It proves my point even more that Daniel Bryan did not need the Money in the Bank, people. This proves my point even more. Dude's over as hell. He doesn't need that Money in the Bank. Guys like Orton, guys like Sheamus, they needed the Money in the Bank because they need to freshen up their character. Daniel Bryan doesn't need this shit. He's already established as hell. He got one of the hugest pops, and the ending to Raw was epic as hell, with Daniel Bryan going, yes, 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 and Cena holding up the belt, being very serious. And I'm excited for this matchup. One, the reason why I'm really excited for this matchup is this is such a fresh matchup. I don't even remember the last time Cena and Bryan faced. Someone on Twitter said, oh, it's a Velocity 2003 rematch. And that's like the last time, but hopefully there's no total Divas involvement in this match. Because if there is, I'm going to be fucking pissed off. But other than that, I'm excited for Cena versus Bryan. Overall, Monday Night Raw, it felt like a very long episode. Kind of boring at times, but it got the job done. It gave us our SummerSlam main event. You get excited for SummerSlam. We pretty much know Punk and Lesnar are going to wrestle at SummerSlam. It did its job, and that's what I like. So I give this Monday Night Raw just a B-. Very solid show. What did you guys think of Monday Night Raw? Comment down below in the comment section. If you guys like me, you can subscribe by clicking the little icon or down below. Like this video or dislike this video for whatever reason. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseOliver68. And that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, it's a Monday night. You know what I say. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. I'll see you all later. And also, please have a sense of humor. Peace!